Hey, what's up? It's DJ. Today we're taking a look at the John Deere 7810 row crop by JHHG Modding. This is a highly reliable and powerful 175 horsepower row crop tractor from the 7010 series, manufactured from 1996 all the way through 2003. It features a John Deere 8.1 liter 6-cylinder PowerTech diesel engine and includes the Power Quad Semi Power Shift transmission. Known for its durable construction, powerful hydraulics, and versatile application, the 7810 is a legendary tractor. The mod itself includes lots of different customization options. You can make it 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive. They've got a front loader on it. I do want to thank JHHG Modding for sending this over to show you guys ahead of its release. Since this is a mod preview at the time of recording, the mod is not out yet. However, you can stay tuned to the new mod videos as well as checking out the Mod Hub link down below to see its latest progress. And of course, links for JHHG can be found down there as well. All right, now that you know all of that, let's take a look at some customization. So we'll start with what you can do in case you're just curious about that. We've got wheel brands and setups, quite a few for each. We also have multiple different mirror options, extremity lights, front fenders, ladder extension, back hydraulic tank, exhaust cover, Starfire 3000 GPS, attachers, which is going to be on the back. We also have a weight for the front loader attacher, and license plate. As far as wheel brands go, we've got two of them. We have Continental and we have Michelin. And we do have the 2-wheel and 4-wheel drive versions for each, but they do differ slightly. So as far as the Continental goes, we've got 30 and 36-inch row crops for this one. We start with the 2-wheel drive, where we've got a holder for an extra wheel on the back, and we've just got those narrow setups. This will be a really cool set, maybe with a weight on it and a front loader. That'd look pretty cool. Very, very nostalgic out there. You can also rock out with some extra duals on the back, throw some extra weights. We have a bunch of weight which can be added around back there. And then we can go out to the 36-inch spread from the 30-inch spread. Of course, we have the exact same setups for the weights and stuff there. Then we go into a 4-wheel drive setup. This is the MFWD 30-inch row crop. As you can see, wheels on the back, exactly the same as they were on the previous. And then we go into the 36. Boom. So that's everything in Continental. If we jump over to Michelin, slightly different here. We have the 2-wheel drive in the 30-inch row crop. Rear wheels looking the same. We've got all the same weight options, but then immediately we go into the 4-wheel drive version. So we only have those 30-inch setups there. But you can kind of spread out the front just a little bit, which kind of lines it up in line with the back. But then we go back to the 2-wheel drive. So we have more options, it seems, for the 4-wheel drive, but not so much for the 2. And basically, those are going to mirror each other with the regular front and the wider front setup. For the remainder of the customization, we'll be using the Continental MFWD 30-inch with no weights. So moving on from here, we have mirror options. So we start off with a no option, so no mirrors whatsoever. Then we go into a standard set, and then we have the new style. I think if you're going with the 4-wheel drive, those would probably be nice. These, however, the standard set look great in the 2-wheel drive version. So just heads up there. Extremity lights, these are just going to be the side markers there. So that's all you get with those. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. I haven't seen anything before, but never hurts to double check. Front fenders, we've got those as well, so you can add those. Boom, looking great. Ladder extension, this just adds an extra run on the end of the ladder. Taking a look at the back hydraulic tank, we can add one of those there if you like that. Exhaust cover, so this is just around towards the side and just adds kind of some grading around the outside of that. As far as your Starfire 3000 GPS, so we either get the holder for it or you could go for the GPS itself. I did look and it doesn't look like anything on the interior changes, but just wanted to make you aware of that. Attachers, we've got no and standard. So this is just going to add a little hitch down there at the very bottom. It's not going to change much, but it does look pretty cool. As far as weights go, we've got a couple different sets. So the first one's going to be a rock box. Then we go with a weight bracket, and then we go with these weights right here. It is set up as 300 kgs, which, what would all those weigh? 75 kgs each, I believe? So you can add those in multiple different setups all the way up to 1200 kgs. Then we go with one that you're probably a little bit more familiar with, the 100 kg brackets. So you can add those all the way up to 1000. So actually not as much total. And then back to a standard set again. As far as front loaders, we've got no. Then we go into a quickie and a hower. So the bracket in the front is going to be the same for both. But of course, that front loader attacher is going to be a little bit different. And then we have our license plates. You can see around towards the front where that goes. And if we spin around towards the back, well, there's nothing there. So let's see. Front and back is an option. If we go with a back only option, I'm not seeing it anywhere. So it looks like it's just going to be a front or none. However, I don't normally see tractors with license plates on them here in the States. So maybe just leave that off. If you're looking for front loaders that fit these, I recommend the Quickie Q6M or the Hauer XB 150. You could also go with the John Deere 683R, but I wouldn't use it on the Hauer, and the Quickie makes it a little bit too high, so I would just avoid the John Deere front loaders. Also worth mentioning that the four-wheel drive versions of these are a little bit lower in the front. Not much, but just enough. So if you've got something like this that does reach the bottom, but one like this that doesn't quite reach the ground. I mean, it can if you scrape it like that, but if this was a four-wheel drive version, it would be on the ground. So just minimal bits there. I still prefer the two-wheel drive version with the front loader, but you may prefer something else, and that's totally cool. The 7810 was kind of born from the idea from the base game 7810 for Farming Simulator 22, which is why JHHG Modding released his 7810 back in Farming Simulator 22. It was a proper US row crop version for us. As we mentioned, it did have 175 horsepower, still does, I guess. Manual plus power shift transmission. We'll show you all the animations for that because it does look very cool. 344 liters of fuel, goes 26 miles an hour, and in its base bog standard setup here, it weighs 7.6 tons, but that weight varies greatly. Here's the setup that we're going to be showing off. So we've got a very, very cool rig here. Loving the rear duals. I mean, I told you, I love this setup so much. We went with the little itty bitty tiny slivers of the front for the weight, and it's looking great. Also the extension on the ladder, and I told you, those wider, the standard mirrors, they look great on the two-wheel drive version. All right, let's go in here and let's check this out. So if we pop a couple buttons here, we can see immediately we go into reverse, and then that can move around A, B, C, D, and E. And then we also have our different groups there, different gears, whether that be -4, 3, 2, and 1. So right now we are in 4th and moving along into high gear, 4th and E. So we do have that manual plus power shift transmission. Look down there on the left-hand side. You can see our clutch going in every time that we need to change gear. Boom, boom, boom. Or at least changing groups, rather, over there on the right-hand side. Are those the groups or those the gears? Not the numbers, but the letters. I don't actually know. As far as everything else, you can see our digital display actually works. We've got everything in there that's supposed to be doing stuff, doing its stuff, which I love. You've got the kilometers per hour rocking right there on the left-hand side. Not miles per hour, but I guess it is what it is at this point. And then we also have our revs on the right-hand side, fuel, and all that cool stuff. And then, as I mentioned, we also have one more pedal down there on the right-hand side, and that is your throttle. So no hand throttle on this one. That one's right there. No animations on the inside when it comes to using your front loader, so don't be looking for those. Just notice that the clock works. That's pretty cool. So now, because this thing just sounds absolutely beautiful, I'm going to hush so that you guys can just listen. Now this is an absolutely beautiful tractor, especially the way that JHHG modding has done it. So I wanted to kind of go around, take a look at some of the details. We will be using my light, and I've zoomed in so that we could at least kind of see just all the little bits, all the little bobs, the additions, the things that have been added onto it, the wheels. Which one are these? I don't even remember what I put on here. Continentals, there you go. Around towards the backhand side here, we can see everything. I do have that hydraulic tank there, pump. I'm really not sure what that's called, but it is the hydraulic nonetheless. Speaking of hydraulics, we do have 3-point hitch on the back. We do have PTO. We got all the stuff. It's just a good looking tractor, man. From the inside as well, very, very good looking in here. Man, I love John Deere tractors so much. So I'll be honest, that's about everything I could think of about the John Deere 7810 row crop from JHHG modding. This is just an awesome tractor. I've been waiting on this one. I know quite a few of you guys have as well. Super excited for it. It will be for all platforms. Again, when I'm recording this video, it's not out yet, making this technically a preview, not a showcase of it, but should be here soon. Again, keep a lookout on the new mod videos as well as on the mod hub for this one once it is here. Nonetheless, big shout out to JHHDs for sending it over to show you guys. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, drop a like on it, get subscribed if you're new, and join DjGoHam fam. Double check your notifications, that way you never miss videos like this one. If you got any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, have an awesome day. We'll see you in the next one.